It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theater, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And the Merman, who's looking dapper tonight. You got a hot date after the show?
It's called work.
Oh, that's why he's looking so dapper.
Yeah.
Wants to impress the boss.
He's work
Is the boss
ready.
going to be there?
No.
Oh.
Work ready, man. Work ready.
All right. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
All right. Well, thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, give us 5 stars on your listening platform, or support us even more by joining the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. And we'll watch it if it played anywhere in the world, in a cinema, and is not a movie made for children under the age of Bryce's mental intellect, which is 10.
Give or take.
Give or take. Depends on the day. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
Ugh, I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
What would the amazing Murman predict? What would the amazing Murman predict? Will he predict the no, or will he predict the man? What would the amazing Merman predict for Jim and Bryce today? What would the amazing Merman predict for the 2 movies we are seeing this week?
Are you done?
He's done. Well, he's never quite done, but...
I pretty much tune out and start singing, so...
Just start talking, Merman, and he'll shut up.
Well, I have no idea what these 2 movies are about.
All right.
Because I don't really follow that shit anymore.
No. But did you watch the trailers?
I did.
Atta boy. Boy.
First one, Maestro.
Maestro.
Yes.
Which I only heard about because the Golden Globe nominations came out. And apparently it was on the list. Apparently people still like Bradley Cooper.
Apparently.
Some people do.
I don't think he... Well, maybe.
He's Bradley Cooper.
He's Bradley Cooper. Is he Bradley?
So yeah, this is about one of the most famous musical songwriters in history.
Bisexual
Yeah, apparently.
performers.
Yes.
Yeah, he has a wife in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Bradley Cooper
and a couple
directs
of
it
lovers.
and stars in it himself because, his ego's that big.
Yes.
I honestly have no desire to see this at all.
All right.
Just listening to him talk in that really stupid accent makes me want to punch the TV.
Nice.
But that's me.
So the trailer made Murray rage.
It did.
That's right.
But that's me.
Yes.
You guys are not me.
That is true.
Seeing as the subject matter and, the gravitas of the movie, I think maybe Bryce might have mondoed that.
Okay.
And just because Jim hates musicals, I'm thinking he probably whittled down to a meh.
All right. That's some good logic there. I like that logic, Merman.
You know what? That's solid, amazing Merman logic.
Yes, I think you put the work in on this one.
Sure. The other one is Eileen, which I forgot about, but I did see a trailer for it at some point. Because it has two of my favorite actresses in it.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, it looks creepy as hell. I think I would love this movie. You guys, I don't think as much.
But by the way, I also love Marin Ireland.
Who the hell's that?
What? That's not who you're talking about?
No.
Oh, well, she was.
The actual stars of the film, not some
supporting
character.
She was kind of the star for me. Is Mrs. Polk. I loved her.
No idea who you're talking about. I'm talking about Anne Hathaway and Thomasine McKenzie.
Oh.
Who, like I said, I love them both. It had.
You're not talking about Marin Ireland.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
Damn.
Just to be clear.
I know who Kathy Ireland is.
Yeah.
I know where Ireland is.
Oh, there you go.
We all know something about that.
It kind of reminded me a bit of Last Night in Soho, which I also loved. That creepy, vibe with people killing people. Hopefully, but
okay.
But yeah, since you guys don't like Anne Hathaway, I'm guessing you probably also gave it a meh.
All right.
I would like to say that we used to not like Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
As of late, Anne Hathaway has been
on fire.
Yes, exponentially better than she once was.
Yep.
Plus, she's also choosing interesting roles now.
She's always been awesome.
And she was nude in her last movie, so
she's not always awesome.
She's not always nude either.
She's actually always been awesome lately.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to talk more about that very quickly.
Yeah. Maybe. Ooh.
This doesn't feel kind of groovy.
It does feel kind of groovy.
Did what's his name? Leonard
Bernstein.
Bernstein. Did he write that theme music? Because it's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure he didn't, Jim.
Yeah, it's true. We would have to pay him royalties, but this one was free. So
there you go. Is that what we're doing first? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So Maestro.
I can't wait to hear what Bryce says about this movie. Actually, Murray, I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
He's gonna. By the way, Jim's gonna tell some stories out of school afterwards that did not happen. But
was Bryce singing in the theater?
No,
whatever.
No.
At any rate, Maestro is a story of Leonard Bernstein, played by Bradley Cooper, who also directed. It follows the composer from about the time he met his wife Felicia, the woman who stayed with him as he cheated on her with his various boyfriends. The movie managed his brilliance and his selfish personal life rather well. Felicia is played by Carey Mulligan, who is able to, at least in part, convey why she would stay with him for all those years. The film doesn't really flow. It sort of takes snapshots of periods of time throughout his life. Perhaps this was by design, but that was a bit of a misfire for me. The acting is quite good, with Carey Mulligan shining in the role of Felicia. She made this film perhaps better than it had a right being. Cooper does an adequate impersonation of Bernstein under a couple of pounds of prosthetics and makeup. Mm-hmm. But as is the case most of the time, it is hard to come across as genuine when you are wearing a mask. All in all, I learned little. I was slightly bored for much of this. But Carey Mulligan was tremendous.
So was Mondo.
Maestro was a well-acted, but ultimately tedious meh.
Whoa. Who saw that coming?
Well, anybody that watched the entire movie like I did.
Yeah. Okay, on that note, this is the story of Leonard Bernstein, Stone, or Lenny, as he was called by his friends. But I will still call him Leonard Bernstein. Like the REM song quotes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they even played that song in the movie.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
I feel fine also. I also feel I know what Bradley Cooper was wanting to do with this movie, and stylistically it hits.
Oscar.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's probably
why he did it.
His main goal, Murray, was to win another Oscar for sure. And stylistically, it hits a unique portrait and the feel that it's a throwback to the style of the time that each phase of the film takes us through. This is all done very well. The issue with this film is that it's choppy in its direction, style, and was extremely boring for most of the film. And also really does not paint a picture interesting to me, and also interesting enough to keep Bryce awake for an entire movie.
I was awake.
Although the sounds of Bryce's deep sleep breathing was a breath of fresh air
All lies, Mur.
on this film's overtones, it blended nicely with Bernstein's music. So listening to Bryce go for about 30 straight minutes.
All lies.
And then I wasn't sure if it was Bryce's snoring, the movie, or the food we ate before we went for the movie. But when Bryce woke up, it was just in time for me to go have explosive diarrhea. So I'm going to think it's maybe the movie, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yes.
That's my guess. Cooper does a pretty good impression of Bernstein, as far as I can tell. And all the acting in this was done exceptionally well, especially by Carey Mulligan.
Yeah,
and if
she's
anyone
great.
deserves an award in this movie,
Yep.
it is her for a nomination for anything. Not
Yes.
saying she's going to win the Jim Film Rage Award this year, because I think that's already been spoken for. But I would say, she definitely deserves a nod here. the problem is I just stopped caring about halfway through because I didn't find what they were telling me all that interesting. It's tough to review this because I feel the film does everything that I think Cooper wanted. I just wish it was more interesting, not so draggy, and told a story that I think there potentially is in this biopic. I mean, the man was brilliant and was a bisexual man at the center of the musical world on so many levels. This had so much interest. At least you'd find out that this is the person who is, pretty much leading the world in music for that time.
Yep.
And then the movie that we got was so boring. I'm thinking this guy was interesting. Like, if Fellini directed this film, or I'm trying to think,
There would have been orgies.
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, this could have been a good Rob Zombie project. I don't know what he'd do with non-horror, but I just feel that there is a story in there that should have been a little weirder, a little bit more exciting, and a little bit more interesting.
He made The Munsters. That wasn't non-horror.
That was terrible, though.
It was excellent.
No, it was really, really bad.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It sounds like it should have been interesting, but it really wasn't.
Nah, it wasn't.
Plus, Sarah Silverman was wasted in this.
Totally
wasted. She was, she's only in there for like maybe 5 minutes of the whole movie, and they should have just had her in all the movie.
I would have liked to watch her and Felicia kind of.
Yeah, me too.
More than Bernstein.
Yeah, I think so. Well, or just
It should have been the Felicia story.
Put it in an interesting story. I don't know. Just make one. So maybe it was the movie Bradley Cooper wanted to make. It just wasn't the movie that I wanted to see.
Yes.
But I'm going to say that the acting was stellar.
Yeah.
And I did like stylistically the first, I want to say half an hour before Bryce's snoring really kicked in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, and it was almost like a switch. It was like it was really stylistically done near the beginning, and then it kind of switched off from a stylistic viewpoint and just kind of started telling these random vignettes, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it just kind of, I don't know.
Right?
I liked the beginning, and then
it was. I kind of liked the style that he was going with.
Away from what he was doing.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was like a different movie. Bryce started snoring, and then everything changed.
I don't think I snored because I was awake. You don't snore when you're awake, Jim.
I'm going to record it next time so that, and we'll just play that over our reviews.
Good luck there, mister.
The funniest thing was, he's like, before we went to the theater, Murray, he's like, I'm really tired. I hope these movies are good enough that I don't fall asleep.
He's always tired.
So this is going to give you a little bit of a hint. because apparently we both gave this a meh, Murray.
Yes, 1 out of 2.
Did you get your button back? Nice.
I think if you'd been awake, you might have given it to Mondo.
I was awake. Don't believe the rumors, Mur.
Yeah.
They're all lies.
Believe the facts.
I've heard from your lips that you've fallen asleep during a lot of movies recently.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the funniest thing
But
was
not this one.
when we were on the drive on the way home, I'm like, did you remember this? And he's like, no, that didn't happen. You're just pulling my leg. Thought I was lying about it. I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
I
Did you
think
miss
he
this
was.
whole part of the movie? And then
just
the
making
most
stuff
important
up.
scene in the movie is like, I don't think that was in the movie.
Nah, it wasn't in the movie. Jim was, you're gaslighting me, man. You're gaslighting me.
Well, speaking of gaslight, let's go to prison, baby.
Let's do it.
All right. So the next movie we saw was called Eileen.
It was.
Yeah. The only thing I knew about this before seeing it was that it was a period piece and that it was a thriller / mystery, I want to say.
Sure.
That's what,
Yes.
I think that's what I was led to believe.
That's not really what it was.
So after the first 15 minutes of the film, I thought, is this mystery where they're going to try and need to solve the mystery of why Eileen can't stop masturbating everywhere she is at all times at any point in the day?
She masturbates a lot.
She did like to masturbate all the time. So, Murray, you would have liked this movie.
Well, I don't know.
But no, that wasn't the mystery they were trying to
No,
solve. But it did
dude.
help to start to paint a picture of who she was. This is the story of a young lady caught in an abusive relationship with her father, who is an ex-chief of police, drunk asshole, who can't say a nice thing about Eileen, even if his life depended on it.
No.
And it possibly could have depended on it.
Yes.
And she's a bit of an awkward person.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, other than just because of her unnatural fascination with masturbating. She just was a little bit of an odd duck who works in a boys' prison. And yes, in the 60s, I guess that boys' prisons were a thing, I guess.
I guess.
And all this awkwardness comes to a bit of an abrupt end when a stylish and classy doctor of psychology comes to work at the prison, played by none other than once thought to be repulsive, but now possibly mesmerizing Anne Hathaway, who's in control and flirty and sexual and shows our little wallflower, Eileen, that she is allowed to live and not be a woman be a woman and also be okay with that. We get to see this relationship flourish and bring us into Eileen's new world that is new and exciting and wonderful for her. Now she is truly allowed to be herself, someone that up until this, she dared not. You with me?
Oh, I'm with you.
All right. This film takes you places that you won't expect. And when it comes to the thriller part of this, as much as the masturbation scenes were thrilling, it's not really a big surprise, but it is satisfying. But satisfying in a way that you feel, man, finally, Eileen can deal out some sweet, sweet justice and probably a little bit of pent-up rage that she has been holding onto probably her entire life. Anne Hathaway, who plays Dr. Rebecca, and Thomasine McKenzie, who plays Eileen, prove they are at the top of their games. This is a character-driven film that Thomasine McKenzie, as a young actor, shows us that she is a new force to be reckoned with on the silver screen. So for everything she has been in so far, she has not let me down. So I am really looking forward to what she does next.
Yes.
We knew, or should say we all know, that period pieces are not something I really feel that supportive of. And, I don't think that all, fiction needs to be
That's
period
when the story
piece.
took place, and yeah, it
No,
does.
I know. I'm saying that normally I don't feel there's a reason, but in this period
There's
piece,
definitely reasons.
aspects fit the feel of the entire film and helps to transport you through Eileen's journey and those of the people around her. I think there's one line in this that kind of sums up the feel of this film. Can you guess what that was?
I don't know. I don't.
Everybody wants to kill their father.
I don't.
And I couldn't agree more.
I disagree.
William Oldroyd.
Yes.
I know this may be your second feature, but you are directing like a seasoned pro. And this second mondo of your career is proving you too are a force to be reckoned with.
You two's a force to be reckoned with?
Yes.
Is it because of Bono?
As is William. Apparently, force reckoning is contagious in this film. This movie was
they use it all the time in
was
the Star
so
Wars
mondo.
series.
So very mondo.
All right.
This one, Bryce stayed awake for the whole movie.
And I'd already seen it the second time I saw it. Which I did not know going in. But the opening scene, it's tough to forget that one.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Yes, it's literally 5 minutes into the movie.
Speaking of the opening scene.
5 minutes into the movie, he's like, he's reading something. I've seen this before.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, how could you not remember this scene?
Exactly. So Eileen opens with Eileen, played by Thomasin McKenzie, in a car masturbating with, I don't know if you noticed this, with urine-soaked snow.
Yes.
To a couple making out in a car parked a few feet away. It is safe to say that Eileen is a little different. She lives a depressing life in a depressing town with a depressing job at the local prison for boys, as Jim mentioned. She lives with her dad, who has his own issues, and we kind of see how he is. And because of that, we understand a little more as to why she is the way that she is. Her father is played by Shea Wiggum, and he has never been better. He's starting to become one of my favorite character actors. He's so good. He's just so good in this. He plays Jim Dunlap, who has no chance of winning Father of the Year.
Nope.
Just in case you're wondering.
Unless we're talking asshole Father of the Year.
So one day at work, Dr. Rebecca St. John comes into Eileen's life. She is played by Anne Hathaway, and in Eileen's eyes, she is the most sophisticated and glamorous person she has ever seen. Rebecca is a major splash of color to the dreary day-to-day of Eileen's life. From there, we are introduced to Mrs. Polk, played by Marin Ireland, who is amazing in everything she does. This time, she is the mother of one of the boys in the prison. It is from here that the story takes an effective and surprisingly effective turn as we learn that perhaps Dr. St. John is not quite as together as we might have thought.
No, she's also a weirdo, Murray.
This is a brilliant film with brilliant performances. The film's atmosphere was perfectly cultivated through its course. And the music absolutely haunts us through every scene that in the entire film. Eileen was Mondo.
Yep. You know who else was in this that sorry, Murray, you got something to say.
Not really.
Mondo!
Nice. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Siobhan Fallon Hogan.
Okay.
She's Mrs. Murphy, the one who's kind of the crabby boss of Eileen.
Is that her name? Yeah. She's
also another character actor.
She's
that
always
is
awesome
always,
in everything. Yeah.
She is like mesmerizing in everything she's in.
You see her in a film, and it's like she's never on the poster.
No.
But every time you see her, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's always got a bit part that she absolutely steals the scene every time she's in it. She's so good.
From the first time I remember her from was Men in Black.
Yeah.
She was the sugar water wife. Yeah, the one that the monster has to wear the skin of the guy. Yeah. She's so good in everything she does. She's just brilliant. So whoever did the casting for this did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
And you know, when you look at pictures of William Oldroyd, he doesn't look that young. So this is only his second feature. Like where has he been? What's he been doing?
I don't know.
Right?
He's been living life, getting life experience, which has made him a better director.
Maybe. I hope this movie does nothing but good things and we get to see so many more things from him. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's interesting. Two of our favorite films in the last couple months, this and Saltburn, right, had some really, kind of out there characters that are not of the norm and just have really good quirky feels to them, and
they both had a really cool atmosphere to them, and they're just as you say, there's a creepiness to them that just gets under your skin, and it's rather welcome.
Yeah, it's you know what, we don't get movies like this because I have a feeling this is going to get some buzz.
I would imagine it should.
If it doesn't, it should.
I mean, how often do you get to see someone masturbating in their urine-soaked underwear? I mean, she was obviously sitting there for quite a while
with a snowball.
I don't know if she's like I think she was actually staking that place out. The more I think about it, she's just sitting there and she's not leaving no matter what.
Yeah, no, she's not going anywhere.
She, if she pees her pants, she pees her pants.
Yeah, she's gonna soak it up with that snowball.
Exactly, soak it up with a snowball.
Or what's his name is in it too.
Owen Teague.
Owen Teague's in it.
Yeah, Owen Teague.
Yeah, there's another
It's so weird because Owen Teague has been making this push lately. He's getting bigger and bigger roles, and he's so awesome in everything. And then he's in like the tiniest little role in this. It almost makes me think that there must have been some stuff on the cutting room floor. So, because why do you hire him as hot as he is? Like, he's getting pretty hot now. You don't just...
Oh, he's hot.
Wow. But no, you don't just hire a guy like that for this role unless this role was a little meatier. And it just seems like in the final edit that he must have been chopped out of it a little bit.
No, but I mean, okay, so so we haven't seen
main.
Reptile yet, but You Hurt My Feelings. He wasn't a huge part in that.
He was a pretty big part of it.
It wasn't fair size because
he was the son. He was a big part of it.
He wasn't that big. Then there's before that, it was To Leslie. Which he was a big part of that too. He was a pretty big part of that. I'll give you that. Yeah.
But
and then before that is Montana Story.
Though?
Yeah, we may be having conversations about him soon enough because so far I haven't seen Reptile, but that's the next one.
I love when I see a young actor like this just
I did see Reptile.
Choosing roles.
Yeah.
Choosing interesting roles.
I have a feeling like when you see an actor with the talent like him and our snowball masturbator, at choosing the roles that they're playing, the movies they're making are fantastic. They're not just taking shit to work. They're choosing roles to say these are interesting.
Barry Keoghan into that.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan's the same thing, right? Like,
just young actors that care about what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's refreshing.
Yes. And not afraid to get nude or do some weird shit in movies.
Or shove a snowball up your
Gucci. Yeah, and as we've talked about, there was a point I think that we might have had Anne Hathaway on our repulsive list, and she is so good in her last 3 movies that she's I put her now into the what was she doing before?
I don't know what it was, but for some reason, she just woke up one day and just started doing.
I gotta get stuff, nude and I gotta do some cool things.
Just do some cool stuff.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway. I'm not going to take all the things I said bad about you in your previous movies.
It makes sense, but now it's the truth.
Now I'm on Team Murray with this one.
Yeah.
# Team Murray. Right, Mur?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about Eileen?
No.
I'm glad to see you got to see the whole movie, though. It's a good thing we saw this one first.
Got to see it twice.
Because you had seen it before. If this one was the second movie, you might have fallen asleep through the whole thing.
Once upon a time, I was like, I was telling someone they should program it for a certain festival, but can't get them all. Probably couldn't get it. I would guess.
Well, the important thing is
this would have been this would have fit nicely in the cuff.
This is a good plug for the Plaza where we got to see this at.
Yeah, that was nice.
Our pretty much our only art house cinema.
It seems like it right now.
Regularly art house.
Well, semi-regularly art house. Usually they might have one art house movie a week along with some weird
stuff.
Second run thing and something from 20 years ago. But
I think if they can get it, they'll play it.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, baby.
All right. Lay it on me. I've been waiting all day for the Murman Minute.
I'm hoping it's Anne Hathaway's, Murray's favorite Anne Hathaway movies. No?
That's because there are none.
Well, not surprisingly.
Well, he hasn't seen the good ones.
I have so.
Well, you weren't there for either of the good. I think there's 2 or 3 total. There were recent ones that we were at the cinema for, and you weren't there. So
He's saying is he thinks the movies that he liked her in.
What
were
I'm
good
saying
movies.
is pretty much every movie I've seen her in, I've loved.
All right, there you go.
They're all good.
There you go.
okay, wasn't she in that one with like Robert De Niro where he was like a?
I mean, one of my favorite Anne Hathaway movies ever. Yes, she was.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Exactly.
It's the Murman Minute.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Well,
Go
if it's
for it.
not Anne Hathaway, what are we going to talk about?
Funny enough, it's my minute, but Bryce is doing all the talking.
I was trying to support you, but it blew up in my face again.
Yes, it did. That'll learn you. Well, not surprisingly, I don't have a whole lot this week.
What?
That's what happens when you work night shift.
That's right, nights, and you're like a walking zombie.
On the night shift.
Takes away your will to live.
Oh, no.
His favorite suicide movies.
Over the weekend, I actually watched quite a few movies, mainly because some of the premium movie channels are on free preview for them.
What?
Which-
Nice.
They're older ones. They're not brand new.
That's
Ah.
all right.
I already
Old
have.
movies are good movies.
I already have Craven HBO, and they say they show the same crap over and over again anyway. Stuff I've already seen.
Yep. All the shitty stuff.
What's Craven HBO? They show like HBO Wes Craven movies all the time. That's Craven HBO. That's cool. Well, how can I get Craven HBO? I want it. Okay, tell me after the podcast.
Okay, I'm done.
I want to know what the movie
I just wanted Craven HBO. Okay, I'll shut up. I promise.
No, you won't.
Here, stick this
You're
in your
incapable.
mouth. Here, eat
Yeah,
your apple
that'd
while
be his
Murray
apple.
talks.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted again and again and again. I just wanted to give a little love out there to one of my favorite all-time actors,
John Candy?
iconic American actor.
Oh, not John Candy.
No. Tom Hanks.
Okay.
There were a few Tom Hanks movies that were on over the weekend, and I enjoyed watching them.
Was Joe versus the Volcano one of them?
Joe vs. Volcano was one of them,
Nice.
with triple the Meg Ryan.
Triple the Meg Ryan.
She played 3 roles.
What?
3
Yes.
rolls.
Yes, she played three
Trouble
different
playing
three,
one
di- three
role.
different parts.
In that movie?
Yes.
Nice.
First, she played the woman that he worked with, that he basically asked out after he quit his job, and then she played the kind of weirdo sister of the guy who hired him to jump into the volcano, and then she also played the other sister, who was the captain of the boat that took him to the island. So, which he eventually fell in love with, of course.
There you go.
His
Nothing
first-
better than rom-coms.
First of I don't know how many movies he made with Meg Ryan.
Sort
I
of-
swear, if he wasn't,
Are they triplets in it, or are they supposed to be?
She's
No.
actually in different people.
Oh, she's in different people?
There are 3 different people.
How does that work?
2 of them are sisters, but the other one has nothing to do with them.
Ah.
But anyway,
Sisters.
anyway.
are
Anyway,
doing
I
it
also
for
watched
themselves.
the Ron Howard classic, Apollo 13, which
Oh,
also made me think of how much I love Tom Hanks.
there you go.
And every time Man Called Otto is on TV, I sit and watch it, even though
There
I've
you
seen it
go.
like a dozen times.
You've seen it a dozen times?
At least.
It just came out like 2 months ago.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it came out a while ago, like January.
2.5 months ago.
No, it came out like in January.
Like
but,
3 months ago.
But it's on Craven HBO.
Craven HBO.
Like every single day. So whenever I see it on,
Pretty much.
Whenever I see it on, I stop and watch it.
You know what? I have to admit, though, on second watch of that
Did
movie...
Wes Craven produce it?
No, Wes Craven is dead, isn't he?
No, he just directed that Scream 12.
Oh, poor guy.
Didn't he?
I don't know.
Anyway, Tom Hanks,
Yes.
who I've loved his entire career.
Yes.
Yeah.
His first big movie, actually, ironically, I haven't seen, even though
What?
it had him and John Candy in it.
What? How have you not seen this movie? Your two
Maybe-
favorite actors?
Maybe because I don't like Daryl Hannah. I never have.
Splash?
Yeah. And
You've
it was
never
a-
seen
And it was
Splash?
directed by Ron Howard,
It's terrible.
who's also my favorite actor. My favorite director.
Except for when
so-
John Candy hits the racquetball.
Anyway.
and beams him in the head.
But yeah,
That's funny.
I liked a lot of his early stuff. Joe vs. the Volcano, The Burbs, Turner and Hooch, Big, Dragnet, even Punchline with Sally Field. He was really good in that.
Sally Field's good in everything.
I enjoyed 2 of those movies, Mur.
I know. But again, this is my minute, not yours.
That's true. But was Sally Field as awesome as I remember her?
Yes, she played a
Punchline was excellent.
Yeah, she played a housewife.
That's one of the 2 movies I enjoyed.
She played a housewife who wanted to be a stand-up comic.
Yes.
So she went to him, and he basically was a washed-up comic who helped her.
Nice.
Yeah, ironically though, I don't like a lot of his middle stuff, like the stuff he won the awards for and stuff he's been like in the 90s and 2000s.
Philadelphia?
Yeah,
He was great in
Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. Still haven't seen it.
Love Forrest Gump.
But
You haven't seen Forrest Gump?
No.
He didn't see Splash. Why would he watch
I got
Forrest
it on
Gump?
DVD, like right behind you. You
It's
should
fine.
just grab
I
it
have
and
I
watch
have no
it.
intention of ever watching it.
Why? What is Forrest?
Sally Field's also in that.
in it too.
Anyway, yeah, no, he's done a ton of good movies. Like I could fill pages of
Who's
stuff I love.
anti-Forrest Gump?
I am.
Apparently Murray is.
What did Forrest Gump do?
Maybe he read the book and he didn't like it.
How about the year it won the Oscar? That's all people fucking talked about for a whole year. So
really?
yeah, you get a little tired of hearing that shit. But yeah, we played Mr. Rogers, the Toy Story movies, Saving Mr. Banks, Terminal, Catch Me If You Can, Saving Private Ryan, League of Their Own.
I like
So yeah,
4 of those movies that
Tom
you mentioned.
Hanks is awesome.
Yeah, he has awesome moments.
He does.
I agree.
Now I'll go back to sleep and you can do your thing.
Don't eat my apple.
Too bad.
That's okay. I'll
Your
give you
turn.
some time.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, my sweet, sweet rage. Oh, I love you so. My rage this week is a reverse rage.
I don't know what that means.
It's completely reversed is what you would think. And just like sometimes, it's going to make no sense to anybody, not even myself. But here's my rage. We went to the plaza first to see the fabulous Mondo film Eileen,
We did.
and there was quite a few people in it.
Yes.
And then we drove halfway across the city
Yep.
and went to Landmark.
Yep.
And you would think in the suburbs that you'd go to the Landmark and it would be packed. There was hardly anybody there. Like, we were the only people watching Maestro. Now, granted, it wasn't a great movie, but
No.
it kind of makes me angry that the Plaza can get, bigger audience and Landmark couldn't.
Good for the plaza.
Yeah. So that's why it's a bit of a reverse rage. Because I'm angry that the Plaza has a bigger draw than Landmark.
I just want everybody to have a bigger draw.
Yeah, that's ultimately what my rage is.
Yeah.
Is we
Not
go
enough people in the cinema.
we go to movies at Chinook on Mondays, and there'll still be lots of people there.
Yeah, even though it's like they gotta give that place a facelift, man. Oh,
Yeah.
it is falling apart.
It's a shithole.
It
It
is.
is. It really is.
Not as big of a
It's
shithole
actually
as the
funny.
Plaza.
Someone at my work today just mentioned he's like, what is with Chinook? It's terrible there. It's like what is going on? Like every other cinema in the city is like so much better, such a better experience. Yet
Yeah.
it seems to be
It's
the busiest.
It's the busiest. Yeah. They're probably like, we spent all this money on these other ones fixing them up, and no one's going to them. We might as well just keep this one shitty. Maybe it'll stop people from coming.
That's weird.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, other than that, I didn't really hate too much of the movies I saw. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Reverse rage day.
All right, that's fair. I don't know. My rage this week is probably something I've raged on before.
Most likely.
Yeah. Well, I go to the cinema and I have to ask for my film lovers discount instead of just getting it. Then I get popcorn that just seems as though it was popped like a week ago.
It was.
And then I get a soft drink where the first time I put it in and I fill it up, it's like warm. So then I like drank half of it and then refilled it so it was at least not warm.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, like it's like, what is going on with the cinemas? It seems like, to your point, they're
Dialing it in.
They're dialing it in. They're not like fixing stuff. They're not even popping fresh popcorn. They're cutting corners. It's just, I don't know what. It's just not the experience that it used to be.
I think the big thing, maybe, is that there's just not enough people going to the cinemas.
Well, yeah.
Like I think, our biggest fear is that all the cinemas go under, right? And
I'm gonna keep on buying the popcorn, even if it's
You've got to,
stale, and
that's
it's
right.
because I gotta support.
I bought
Doesn't matter if I'm going to the plaza or if I spent like $15 on stuff at the plaza that would feed a toddler, but
I was like, what? You paid $12 for that?
it's like, what? It's like, yeah, I did.
Well, I had to
But
buy
whatever. It's like they had like 4 people working there, so I'm like, well, someone's got to pay their wage.
I had to buy a Wonder Woman collector cup from '84, like Wonder Woman '84 collector cup, just to save the cinema.
Yes.
I hated that movie.
Think you did it. That's what kept them going.
That's what's keeping them going
that
in these troubled
cup
times.
money. Yes.
And to advertise it, I think I bought it and I just threw it out because I was like,
whatever.
I was like, I hate this movie. I don't want anybody to know I have this cup.
I don't want to be reminded of it.
Remember that movie, Mur?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't like it either, did you?
Well, it came out during COVID. It wasn't even in theaters.
I know.
If I'd seen it in a theater, I might not have hated it as much. But
No,
the fact that I
you-
had to pay $30 online to see it on my tiny little TV.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, the second part of my rage
Oh. is
is that Murray refuses to tell me how I can get Craven HBO.
Why don't you call your buddy Wes?
Well, I'll send him some social media if he's still alive.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Well, gang, this is our last somewhat normal episode before the holidays. You're going to get our Krampus special next week, and we're going to be off between Christmas and New Year's, but we're coming back with the biggest, most exciting episode you'll ever hear with our Rage 5 and Mondo 10 for 2023, our first episode back, plus all the movies we're going to see over the holidays, which could be 72.
Might be a lot of movies.
It could be a 7-hour podcast, so stay tuned. But
Pack a lunch.
make sure you come out for the crampiest, most cramptastic cramping of all time with next week's Krampus episode. And thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rager Dare. Don't you worry, Ragers. Casey will be back next year, full of rage for us to all enjoy. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make it a rage. That's it for this week. A rage on.
Rage on.